Good morning, folks. A very good morning to each and every one of you, wherever you're joining us from in the world today. Welcome to FYI. For your information, it is the 17th day of April already. Believe it or not, 17th day of April. But we're happy that you guys are here. We are just a little past mid-month, folks, heading to the end, heading to the finish line. And of course, we hope that you guys are that much closer to your goals, your dreams, your aspirations being realized, a little bit closer than you were last month at this time, or the start of this very month here of April. And we welcome each and every one of you. Thanks for being here with us. We see all of our usual folks are here with us. Edward from the Bronx, Edward Gonzalez and Dolly Anderson. Always giving a shout out to the tubers, Dolly. Thanks, Dolly. Vashti Magnot and June Cameron. Good to have you, Vashti. Say hello to Rupert for us. And Claire Essex Chomley is here too. Good morning, Claire and Tessa Isaacs and Fennel Innes. We trust you guys have had a great weekend. We trust you've had an awesome weekend. How was it? Was it great? Was it awesome? Do let us know. Linda Ann Thomas is here and Ingrid Crawford. We see we have Sharon and Lynn Finance. Do let us know, guys, if you're reading our audio loud and clear. Do let us know. Siobhan and Tommy, Rudolph and Basil, Annette Cummins. Good to have you folks on the live this morning, guys. We are very, very happy. And each and every one of you, you all are here with us. We got a couple of things to share with you guys. Ayabo Natasha is here as well. It's good to have you. Romel and Debbie Collins, Amabel Clement. Amabel, how are you doing? Good to have you at this end. Delighted to have you this end, Amabel and Merlin Sampson, Vashti, all of you fantastic folks. Linda Ann, Junior Holder, good to have you folks, guys. We are happy that you guys are here with us. We're fired up and we're ready to go. You know, that's how we do things at this end. Great to have you guys. What's for breakfast this morning, guys? I wish we had some breakfast at this end. We're having quite a rush. One of those mornings you got to rush. You know, it is what it is. It is what it is. Good folks, we're just simply happy that you guys are here. That's going to make it that much more bearable to have you good folks out front with us this morning. Again, great to see each and every one of you who are joining us. Fantastic to have you guys here with us. Good to see you folks. If you all are ready, we are about ready to head and see what's happening in, guys, the morning papers. That's where we're starting from this morning. That's the front from which we are starting. But again, good to see each and every one of you. We're just making sure that we got everything up and up at this end. Good to have you guys joining us. That's where we're starting, folks. And again, good to see each and every one of you. How are we breaking the fast, folks? What's for breakfast this morning? I see Myrna and Romel again. Magnell Barrow is here, folks. We wish you guys a great day. And not only a great day, we wish you guys a great week as well. Wishing you guys a fantastic week. Donna, we see you there. Donna Joseph. Good to see you, Donna. And Cheryl Mulrain is with us. Great to have you guys. And I think probably goes without saying, we encourage you to share the live and, you know, smash that emoji, but all the good stuff. Smash that emoji button for us, of course. Pace and power. Pace and power, guys. Thanks for joining us. Wherever you folks are joining us from this morning, we are simply delighted that you guys are here. Simply delighted that you folks are here with us. Wherever you all are joining us from this morning, good to have each and every one of you. Debbie says she's having some oats. Yeah, good stuff. Nothing but the good stuff. Debbie says she's having some oats. And Linda Ann, great day to each and every one of you. Great day to you, Linda. Riri Mingo Galway is with us as well. Good morning to all of you folks, wherever you all are joining us from. Good to have you guys on the live. Good to have you folks here with us. Suzette Washington, how are you folks doing? A lot happening over the weekend, folks. We had a lot happening over the weekend. But believe it or not, ready or not, here we come. You know, they're telling us that today is nomination day. Local government election is upon us. 12th day, I think, of June. If my dates serve me correctly, 12th day of June, and they're telling us, you know, today is nomination day, and we're going to be trying to get you some of the actions. Parties are going to be stepping forward to present their list to GCOM, and as much of that as we can get you guys, we will get that to you folks. So today is nomination day. Believe it or not, nomination day, and we're going to try to talk to as many of the candidates as we can. As many as we can. Nomination day. Do you believe it, folks? Do you believe it? Well, this is an administration that don't like local government election. You all know that. It's been a little while. It's been a little while. Local government right now, it's at a delayed date. I think we are overdue by a year plus, not 2 years. We're overdue for local government elections, and in the last iteration of this administration, Beryl and all the other folks, it was about 20 years we didn't have local government election in the last the last iteration of governance. It was 20 plus years, so they ain't got no profound love, right? They ain't got no profound love for local government election, and then they've been trying all kinds of things to give themselves an advantage. All kinds of things, and gerrymandering and positioning the personnel there at GCOM. You know how it's being done, and we're going to be highlighting some of those things. So we wish all of the credible and valid candidates all the best. All the credible and valid candidates. I saw Norman Brown pointing out a turncoat, a recently converted house slave in Linden. He suddenly decided he wanted to go over the other side. And I think part of what I saw Norman Brown saying is that Bob Marley must be turning in the grave. A Rasta gentleman, but nomination day. And we wish Marcy Fordyce and Carolyn Herzen, Loretta Argyle, and all the other folks, Shirley, and the folks joining us on Twitter and YouTube and Facebook. Wish all of you a great day. And this just so happening. We wish all the valid and credible candidates. Wish all the valid and credible candidates nothing but the very best. Nothing but the very, 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 very best. And we're just trying to make sure we dot some I's and cross some T's at the side. Right? We'll wish the valid and credible candidates nothing but the very, very best. Best wishes. And again, guys, we're going to try to bring you guys some of the festivities. Right? It's nomination day. Facebook user says, I'm not seeing a name, just Facebook user having some. Hold on. I haven't had breakfast as yet, so I get a chance to imagine. Right? Black Bush, hot Black Bush tea with biscuits. Yeah, those things are delicacies now. Edward Brooms and Tommy Gibbs. Linda. Good morning, Linda, and all the other guys joining us. Good morning. Nomination day today, folks. Nomination. Yeah, some of these folks have never had any big love for local government elections. Also this week, they tell us, UG. This used to be one of the things I looked forward to when I was an undergraduate at university. Open day. You get to meet those folks who are prospective students. You get a chance to hang out with some of your colleagues and showcase the university. Yes, I enjoyed every facet of life as a student, every aspect of student life. You all know your boy was student president too at UG. Yes. Yeah, and make sure nobody can contend that they pass through. There can be no doubt. Yeah. I hope they have it up still. They used to have a practice of hanging all of the former president's photographs up in the University of Guyana Student Society office there. And your boy got a photograph there. Got a photograph hanging there. I ain't only passed through. I did a couple of things. And got an award from university as well for being a very, very active part of student life there. Yeah, I think I just run out. And I graduated from the programs I was pursuing. But not all of them, because I haven't finished my master's degree as yet. But I did law, graduated, did communication studies, graduated there too. So they have open day. I think I can take a walk up and see what's going on. I think I can take a walk up. And folks, I want to encourage you. You're not too old You know, you're not too old. I got to finish up my master's degree. I started and I took a leave of absence during campaign. It was hectic being on the ground and, you know, doing all the running around and so on. And, you know, be a good student all at the same time. But I got to go and complete my master's degree. And I encourage all of you folks, don't write off, you know, and start reading your own eulogy. You know, stop that. Stop that. You know, you can go back and you can finish off. You can start. If you haven't started, you can start if you haven't started. But good to see all of you guys on the live this morning. I want to encourage you all, you know, be like Shirley in Juicy Tendry. Right? Shirley says, share the live, you know, in a very strong way. Share the live, purpose. Oh, share the live, Paul. Yep. So UG got their career day coming up. Sometime this week. I don't have a specific date as yet. But soon as we have that, folks, you have a chance to go up and check out and see what's happening there. This is your opportunity to go and see all of the offerings that is UG, all of the programs and the courses, what have you, you know. And you know, so don't you know, too many people I see say, oh, UG, they take advice from somebody. UG is this, UG is that. Every place got its challenges. We went there, we put down our heads and we did the work, and we're all the better for it. Right? Nobody can run we no talks. We're all the better for it. Look what else we're following, folks. Look what else we're following. This is what's happening. A man was electrocuted. They said he worked for GPL, but he was on a private. He was working at this particular time when he was electrocuted there in Providence. They tell us a private contractor. You know, and we want to advise people to be so careful. You know, sometimes we let our guards down, right? We let our guards down, and as soon as we do that, Jesus have mercy, right? We pay the ultimate price, and we want to say our thoughts and prayers are with his friends, his family, his loved ones. He was a young man, and I think part of the reporting is that he was trying to navigate a ladder. It was in the process of moving a ladder when it came into contact with the GPL power cables. We gotta be so careful. And this they're telling us is one Michael Benjamin. Right, he was electrocuted on Saturday, and was at the time of the incident a subcontractor planting poles in the area. And again, this electrical feed, they said. One of the poles he was planting and helping to move came into contact with those electrical wires. This is a dangerous job, and so extreme caution has to be used when navigating this kind of work. Extreme caution. And again, I want to say our thoughts and prayers go out to his friends and family. You know, this has to be a very horrific way one can transition life. And I see Commissioner Cole in the comments talking about occupation, health, and safety. You know, like another issue I'm going to point out in just a couple. Occupation, health, and safety, that's a week. It's not a consistent lifestyle. It's not a consistent engagement that we have. Occupation, health, and safety. It's a week we celebrate. Right? Occupation, health, and safety week, and then the committees on the job are left to rot and decay till the next time. Occupation, health, and safety. It's just a week. Right? And this is a subject I understand, having studied it as well prior to going off to university full-fledged. I was privileged to do industrial relations and management. Was a precursor to my communication studies and my law studies, industrial relations and management. And in that program, they had that course, occupation, health, and safety. I can see Sir Aldo's face vividly now in that classroom, walking us, Sir Aldo, and also you had Miss Arjun, you know, who was one. Those were practitioners. I don't know if they're still residing locally. People can fly and just go overseas, you know, where they can be appreciated. Right? Those were consummate professionals. They had a work, they had a profession, had an occupation, they were passionate about these areas: occupation, health, and safety. So I'm happy for Commissioner Cole. I'm happy that Commissioner Cole raised that. We got to move it beyond the week, right? And again, Mr. Benjamin, friends and family, his associates, his colleagues, our thoughts and prayers. Michael Benjamin, young man, barely 27. You see, Michael didn't start living life here. He didn't start living life. And his mother here in this report says she just left Guyana. Right? Said the Sidangan had a gap, just left Guyana. And then that's it. That's it. Michael is gone. Right? And they're telling us he was working with a Trinidadian firm, right, which was contracted to plant poles from GPL. And that was the exercise he was engaged in, that Michael was engaged in when he transitioned. Again, we want to say our thoughts and prayers go out to his friends and his family. Our thoughts and prayers and our hearts are with you guys. Official out of India is going to be visiting with us, and I want to talk to people who understands, who got the unvarnished reality of life in Guyana. So a woman, and we featured her here in our program last week, I think. A very colorful way described, what coming home was like. I heard one of the things she was stressing continuously is the prices. How people surviving, on the salaries that people are being paid here. How are we making out? How are people making out? And, I could see some of you trying to vilify her, right? And all manner of things. The truth is hurt. The truth is hurt. Right? The truth is hurt. And she spoke her mind. That's the experience she had. You want to tell you something that she had, and people sometimes, I give allowances. Honestly, I give allowances. Right? For people to express themselves, and we try not to edit too much. That's the reality we face. People curse in this country. That's the reality. I wish I was living in a bubble and people didn't curse and all of that stuff. But the reality, right? And they say they're realists, they take life as it is and not how we want it to be. And that's the reality. People express themselves in various ways. That's part of being Guyanese. Right? So I hope when Mr. Jai Shankar comes, this Indian External Affairs Minister, right? I hope he gets a kind of unvarnished truth. That unvarnished truth, right? So we wish him a good trip, and we hope that he gets. Let us extend all the Guyanese hospitality we can to Mr. Jai Shankar, Minister Jai Shankar, Subramaniam Jai Shankar, India's External Affairs Minister. They say he's going to be on a 2 days visit to Guyana. Right? 2 days visit. Yeah, the unvarnished truth. I'm at an age where I'm polishing things. Right? And people sometimes when they are around me, they really want to express themselves. They said, excuse me, sir, but excuse my language, big man. Big uncle. Excuse my language. No, give it to me. Give it to me, Rob. Don't polish it up. I'm at an age I speak my mind freely. I ain't editing anything that I say. I mean, I'm not given to cursing, too much. But I'm not, don't polish it. I want to hear you. I want to hear real thoughts. Maureen Williams, Joseph Goddard and Veronica Primo Rollins, Debbie and all the folks joining us this morning. Don Sullivan. Don, good to have you here with us. And GT Boy and all those other folks joining us this morning. Good to have you guys on the live. So the Mr. Jai Shankar, Indian External Affairs Minister, he's going to be coming through. We wish him all the best. We wish him a very good trip. Now the issue that we're looking at. So some of the headlines, if you're new to our broadcast, some of the headlines we're pulling out of the morning papers. Government tackling sexual violence. through sensitization. And again, this is the issue I was referring to earlier when we were talking about occupational health and safety, and it says we got to move it beyond a week, Occupational Health and Safety Week. Now, this is a month of sensitization, and everybody going to be on the P's and Q's, because nobody wants to be caught in the slips in the sensitization month. You see, but when the month done, everybody going back to not only sexual violence, but physical violence. And these things like combating the carnage on our roads and sensitization where that is concerned, got to be on a consistent basis. We hammering home how terrible the perpetuation and condoning sexual violence is, and sexual assault and gender-based domestic violence. Those are some of the things that are the scourge of society, and especially Guyanese society. Women chopping up women, men bullying, men chopping up women, men bullying women, for sexual violence, rape, and all of that. Got to be just more than a month. You have to have a consistent campaign that is well-funded, and goes beyond politics. How are we going to curb it? You see the foolishness happening on the roads? We're coming to that. And if you are in the views of our program, we talk about, the other pandemics we've been dealing with, and epidemics and what have you. Gender-based violence against our women and girls especially. The carnage in our waterways and our roads. Right. Those things are major concerns. And then crime, the brazenness. The crime is one thing in and of itself. But is the brazenness now? And I don't know if they could be a causal link, how tight things tight economically. How people are having a very hard time, which is part of what Big Auntie was talking about. Making ends meet. How are managing with the prices here? You see, that's what that proverb spoke about. When that proverbial saying, you take that frog, the crapo, you put it in the pot with the hot water, you can jump out right away. That's what a woman did. She jumped out 1 week and she beat out. But if you turn up the temperature easy with the crapo right in that pot, you can stay in there and cook yourself. And the temperature has been going up easy, and we've acclimatized to it. We've acclimatized to it. And so we gotta come past just photo ops on these issues. Right? I'd love to see some of these ministers who can parade this whole month here, right, against sexual violence. When those moments in our society emerge for them to speak out, they speak out. Not only sexual violence, violence on the whole. But when is their colleagues and their friends involved? And some of them have been had serious accusations brought against them for sexual violence. They go quiet when it's their friends, their family, and the favorites who are caught in the slips. Sexual violence and gender-based violence and such and so forth. They go absolutely quiet. They forget the month and they stop sensitizing. They stop sensitizing. See, that's the hypocrites that we deal with. Pack of them, pack of hypocrites. Right? Pack of hypocrites. They talk about how much they love women and girls and how much they love democracy, and they do everything contrary. Everything contrary. They didn't have local government elections, folks, for 20 years, and they didn't forget it's stated in the Constitution every 3 years. They didn't forget that's part of the democratic norm of any society. Let the people decide who they want to lead them at the local level. And now they come as purveyors and bastions, of all these issues. I call them hypocrites. I call them hypocrites. Right? I call them hypocrites. And folks, so that's some of the stuff that we're following from that end. Some of the issues, the headlines that jumped out of us from the morning papers. And we want to turn attention to some of the things that are happening internationally. We're going to circle back to what's happening in the region. We circle back from that, folks. We're coming in for London. Some of the other stuff happening right here in the 592. Commissioner Cole. Yeah. Commissioner Cole says in the past, IMCs became the norm. Absolutely true. This is interim management committees became the norm. And then these folks now want to come and lecture us. Right? Lecture us. That's the barefacedness. That's the barefacedness of it. That's what we say. That's the bare face. Bare face. Folks, East Bank look as though traffic is flowing a little freer. This morning we're giving you a live shot here of the Harbour Bridge. The policemen there seem to have retreated, and now it's every man for himself. The police who direct traffic there on a daily basis seem to have retreated, and you got to ease and press. This is a live shot of the Demerara Harbour Bridge, the entryway, the entry-exit way, the Georgetown end, and this is compliments of Pixel Guyana Inc. We're able to bring in this live shot from their cameras there at the Harbour Bridge. Yep, that's what's happening outside our windows. That's outside our windows, good folks. Outside our windows. So what we're following, folks, internationally. Putin, that's it. Charged and convicted one of its critics. One of his critics there. Yeah. Hi. Dictators don't like criticisms, And that's how Kara Murza has found himself. Dictators don't like criticism. You see, they can talk the talk, that democratic talk. Free and fair elections and good governance and accountability and transparency, but the actions don't match. And one of the most outspoken critics against Vladimir Putin there in Russia has been sentenced to 25 years in jail with strong criticism of what's happening there in Russia. 25 years. And everybody denounced. All right-thinking countries denounce these trials as sham. People being convicted on the slimmest of evidence. The slimmest of evidence. Dictators do not like too much criticisms. They don't like it. And they spend a lot of time condemning. People in the media, people in civil society who have a contrary view. And that's what we saw all weekend with the Amerindian People's Association, JPA. Right? All the time. That's what we saw. And then I saw the Two House Council coming out against the APA. But we understand the people and the hierarchy of the Two House Council who have been installed. Right? Who have been installed. And folks, we all collectively gotta speak out against this slow and steady descent into dictatorship. Right? Because when they come for you, who can speak out? Who are going to speak out? But some of you would rather align yourselves, right? Y'all don't read the papers, y'all don't see these issues. For your convenience, for your own comfort and your brown bag, align yourselves with the jagabats and the trench crappos. Right? Folks, let me tell you something, because they got all kinds of mischiefs out there. Mischievous people. Right? I would rather come right out to politics. pack my bags and be out from this country before I go over to the PPP. Pack my bags, my family, and be out. And I said it publicly. And if ever I put politics behind me, I not be like some people, you know. You say go in business, and every day you're alive talking about something with Ali and governance and all these things. Some have to pick a struggle. Right? You say you're finished with politics, and you want that with share governance and, you know, accountability and all manner of things. They say out of politics now. Well, I out. Right? If ever the going gets so tough and I feel this is madness, I'm done with this foolishness, I felt a brick behind me, and right there I want to bury me wherever in the world I live in. That's how out I can be out. Me got 1 foot out and still commenting. But Jack, you and Irfan and so on. I can be out completely. So this is the playbook of dictators. They start going after people like Ugunse and David Hines and the leader of the opposition and so on. You know, they start going after Walden Lawrence and Carol Joseph. Right? They start going after Christopher Jones and the mayor. Right? Not because you do something that is illegal. Right? Because they don't like criticisms. That's how dictators operate. That's how they operate. Unfortunately, that is how they operate. Well, Camilla hurt. She went into an accident, you know, she didn't fall down. Nobody hit her physically. She hurt because she said, Harry sees her as a villain, right? As a villain. I don't know. You see, you can't please people, you know. You can't please people. We told you guys, they no longer, the Queen says she should be referred to as Queen Consort. And I was advised that they do this so that you can know where the power lies. She's not a queen by hereditary means, hereditary. Right? She's queen by being married to the king. The power lies with him. Right? Queen Elizabeth's father was king. That's how she became queen. She was the eldest. And that's how Elizabeth's son, Charles, the eldest, became king. See, it comes through your lineage. Well, she's just queen now. Oh, you get Charles. You get queen. Why you bother with Harry think? You understand that? You get Charles, you get queen. Right? Everybody's not going to like you. That's the sixth rule of politics. Beatrice help me. That's the sixth rule of politics. Let me be a little more comfortable here. That's the sixth rule of politics. Everybody's not going to like you. Right? You are an acquired taste in some cases. It's not for everybody too. Right? She vexed because Harry lives in the US. Right? If Harry write a book and you don't come out shining, you have to think about rent, you have to think about light bill. You gone down in history. Right? You got to think about transportation. You like them public servants here. Right? You know what you should do? Lose Camilla with public servant salary in this country. You will see how she forget about Harry. Right? To the folks in Craverton, Scotland, like Candy, Deline, and Dajit. Good morning to you folks. Wishing you guys a great week. Wishing you guys a great week. Right? Love Harry. You know? Like y'all say what people here. Young. Love his wife. Let her live your life. Let her live their lives. She hurt. Harry live until in the US. How she hurt? You see? But Camilla, like them jagabats we got to deal with. All they want is for you to suha away them. You know? All they want is malo. Right? And you to now tell, you must bow down and so on. That's all. Nice time. That's all. A little pushback. A little criticism. She's hurt. Right? I don't think Camilla was hurt, you know. Camilla look outside in some parts of this world, how people living, how people getting by, you know. You got time to be hurt. You have a big castle you could choose. Right? Sandringham one weekend, Buckingham another weekend. You all know some of the places. You got time to be hurt. Camilla, look. All right. Look hurt. People in Sudan have been in civil conflict for a long time, but it's intensifying, they're telling us. You know, the number of deaths are racking up. And just over the weekend, we saw some drone footage at an airport in Sudan, plane on fire. People in Sudan hurting, right, because of the absence of any semblance of a governance structure. Is wild west. Right? Wild west. Camilla says she hurt because Harry in Suhawe in her. Right? It's wild west in Sudan. People don't know how they're eating. People don't know they can live to see another day. Right? You ever seen any, you ever heard, like, month after month, people in the royal family die? No. Quality of life is different when you got money. You know, when you get health care, like doc. As soon as you sneeze, you got the best doctors in the world. Most people in the royal families live till the 80s and 90s. How old was the Queen when the Queen transitioned? 92, 96. Lived a full life. How many prime ministers the Queen saw come and go? Right? People in Sudan, they don't know if they can see the sunrise tomorrow. You know the hurt they live under, the fear, economic, psychological. Camilla said, Harry like me. You know? Too much of life I find is feelings. Right? People in the feelings all the time. Feelings. You know, they're being run, living life by the feelings, how it feels. I feel to go to work today. I feel to get up. Everything is... Sudan, people don't even know if they're seeing, you know, the next sunset, if they're going to make it. You see? Got a lot to deal with. A lot to deal with, folks. A lot. Now, advance, go tell them, you know, those of you people of faith, you can spare a thought or two to the folks in Sudan. Do that. You know, spare a thought or two for the folks in Sudan. Look at some of what we're touching on regionally that got our attention in the region. Some of the things that got your attention regionally. Hurt. You know, too much away with feelings. Too much. Too many of us in with feelings. Right? You know, people have been, this escalation of the, well, I don't know if it's an escalation, but what's happening in Mexico? The US warned several times, you know, some of these areas that are considered as safe zones, considered as safe zones in Mexico. Now they've been saying, avoid such places. Right? Now the criminal elements are coming in those zones. And this was one of the international headlines, you know, that we saw over the weekend. Gunmen stormed a resort there in Mexico. 7 people killed, including a child. There's no picture, you know. This is reality. Can you imagine the Mexican government got to call those families there? Foreign nationals and locals and tell them the hard news. They're going to be hurt. You know? Today when you hear, oh, Susan said, Michael say something about you. Move on with your life. These people have a difficult time moving on because they have things to be hurt about. When you think about going on vacation someplace, you weren't thinking people going to storm there and you're coming back. These people got reason to be hurt here. Right? And I think more tourists gotta heed what has been said. Until you see this crime situation here in Mexico coming down, y'all humble Tate, Ecuador prison, gang violence in the prison system, gang against gang, 12 dead. Prison in Ecuador, not to call out the army to help restore order there. 12 dead. Gangs in the prison, warring. Right? Gangs in the prison warring. Ecuador, 12 they tell us. Just so. Thoughts and prayers go to those families as well. And finally, in things we're looking at in the region, Philip J Pierre, Prime Minister of St. Lucia, he's going to be speaking at a special symposium on crime. I want to let Ben go in. CARICOM has a special symposium on crime. And again, the boys that we got to deal with here is the impunity, in which these guys are moving around and committing their dastardly and bastardly. Those acts is the ease of which they're doing what they gotta do. And you'll see a couple of it just now as we transition to some of the other things we're tracking in the 592. Right? As we transition to some of the other stuff that we are tracking there. Folks, things are getting easier, And the people don't tell us economically where we going. It's not getting any easier. Now look, some hypocrites. These people make you laugh. It's so serious. We laugh. Hypocrites. We saw them over the weekend. Rightfully, if I might add, praising one of these local companies, Annette, Pamela, out front parts. Plantain seem to be king. And they producing plantain chips, among some other chips. Caribbean snacks. Right? And they're not only thinking about supplying local markets, but to going further afield as well. You remember when these guys laughed? Commissioner Cole, out front park, Chevron McDonald, Candida Lynn Indigit, Amabel, laughed at Granger, mocked him. Right? Now you got cook up and pepper pot in packs. You go and buy a packet of pepper pot on the shelf. When Granger talked about, capitalizing on the things we produce, the Pomeroon and elsewhere produce plantains by the tons. But we were not into these agro-processing in this manner. Right? Now them boys come out and celebrating plantain chip. Hypocrites. Right? And Mustafa's a big hypocrite. He's an old hypocrite. Right? And some of you joined with them, and some of you felt bad. Maybe in your mind you say the same thing. It's only plantain chip. Right? No. Plantain chip is king. Plantain chip is king. Right? I enjoy a good pack of Saldanza plantain chip. I bought some just yesterday in the supermarket. You see? If you're busy and you got time to fry for yourself, somebody fry for you. Right? And I'm looking forward to sampling some of these plantain chips coming out of Caribbean Snacks, right? And we wish Caribbean Snacks the best. You get a chance to pick up some of the plantain chips on a shelf locally, or foreign if when they start shipping internationally. Support them. Support local businesses. But these hypocrites, how are you going to support them? Hypocrites like Zulfikar Mustafa, they'll let the bandwagon big laugh, and some of you cower to them. These hypocrites, how you could join forces with these guys? One morning they argue something, tomorrow they come and argue the total opposite. Same plantain chip. And they talk about how the industry is taking off. The plantain chip is concerned. Neon Hardin, Desiree Manuel, Alec Cummins, Paul DeAndre, they are hypocrites. When you say something, you do something else. Your words and your actions don't line up. Hypocrites. And it's from the top. Jagdio is a hypocrite, Irfan is a hypocrite, and this installed Minister of Agriculture. Hypocrites. Hypocrites. And that's what you get. The only thing you can say about them is that they've been consistent in the hypocrisy. Consistent. It's in the very same way they abuse out about the oil contract. Oh, we can be better for oil. We can renegotiate this dastardly contract. Now they come in, sanctity of contracts. Sanctity of contracts. They're hypocrites. That's hypocrites. Look at this retracting, folks. You see? Grandmother got custody of this little baby. Don't want to get into all of it. But the mother, legal custody, for whatever reason, don't want to get into all of the issues there. Grandmother said the mother came, apparently spending some time with the child, and disappeared with the child. Believe it or not, that's kidnapping. Right? Never mind you make the child, whatever circumstances conspired, that the grandmother has legal custody of the child. Right? That's how you're going to make things worse now. You're going to make things worse. And Mia Samantha asking for the child to be returned. Right? Asking for the child to be returned. Children need stability. And that's one of the things I learned very early as a father. Right? And that's something I fight every day. I could fail at plenty of things. I didn't intend to fail as a father. Right? Children need stability. So we saw this and we said, you know what? Y'all work out this thing. Work it out. And don't let the child there back and forth, back and forth, back and forth. Please, for the sake of the child. Sake of the child. Saw this over the weekend. Not a sad issue concerning local culture and so on. This band was contracted to play at an event in Rupununi. They bring the people and left them stranded now. Can't come back to Georgetown. Yes, it's on every front. Right? On every front. Every front in this country's problems. But we hope that the authorities can help these guys to come back into the city. Right? The organizer, the guy who took them, the producer, got him knocking about all over the place. Them Bo Vista, they come back, the guy rodeo, they all over the place. And then just disappear on the ban. Disappear. We got all kinds of scams we got to deal with. All kinds of scams we got to deal with. So we talk about crime and how them boys just anytime, any place, the pouncing, anytime, any place. Pamela Dover, Outfront Parks, Neon Harding, anytime, any place. Market, Pleasance Market, you know, the jeweler trying to ply his trade. That's it. And that is it. And the administration's biggest concern is when the Amerindian People's Association talk about their carbon credits scheme. That's the biggest concern. And citizens are being harassed, robbed, traumatized on a daily basis. On a daily basis. Right? How come crime is not a bigger part of these press conferences, a bigger feature? Right? What is the police force crime plan, the government, the PPP crime plan? How are we going to safeguard our citizens? That's what we're following. Part of what we're following. You know? This is market day, you know. This is not late at night, the jeweler sleeping, lock up in the house. That is the impunity with which them boys are moving. Right? Because there's nothing restraining them. Nothing restraining them. The whole police force, they're foot to foot behind the president all over. The whole force. So who guarded the citizenry? Who? Huh? Who guarded this canted driver? Himself and others who were attacked. You know, right there in Eccles over the weekend. Man lost his life. Everywhere you see Ali, you got about 1,000 policemen. Right? And the criminal elements in this country moving around with impunity. Is the vendor at Pleasance Market, is the canter driver and his associates. You know, going about their business peacefully. Right? And then boys just punks on them. That's the reality. And when big auntie talk, you all vex. And your biggest issue, she used some expletives. Her biggest issue, you know, she used some expletives. Where is the religious organizations on crime in this country? Y'all keep quiet. Y'all keep quiet. When the things at your doorstep, you know, then we can hear a different tune. All right, so it's Pleasance Market today, it's Eccles tomorrow. You know, where were they punks next? Man lost his life. You know, stabbed to his chest. Right? Because people see you with something and decide they don't want to work hard. They want to come the shortcut way. They want to come the right way. And then there's this deadly crash yesterday involving this presidential guard. You know, folks, our thoughts and prayers, first and foremost. We don't know all the reason why, but they tell us that this gentleman was speeding. Right? He was speeding and overtaking several vehicles there. You know, Avondale Narain and other folks were in the vehicle with him. You know, quite a few young persons. You know, we saw one report that says he might have been inebriated, he might have been drunk. But clearly, I think the consistent reporting is that he was speeding. So he was overtaking several vehicles. You know, one report said he was part of a convoy, this presidential guard, when he lost control of his vehicle. You know, and that misjudgment ended his life, sadly. He's a young man. We heard as well that he recently, within the last 6 months, became a presidential guard. And that the vehicle belonged to one Anta Singh, a Prashad Nagar. So many questions here. Where are they heading? Were they part of a convoy? Was it was he an official assignment? Everybody in the vehicle with him, ages range between 20 and about 26. Young people. Young people. Right? And this is what you see all the time. And I'm not speaking here specifically to this young man, but you can hardly drive in this city, Yvonne Ramasar and Riri. You can hardly drive in the city. It's just sirens. You always got to pull over. Every 2 cars, there's somebody coming through. You got to pull over. You got to pull over. Sometimes I want to follow some of them, and I will, to see where they're going. Just over the weekend, Prado, Doug Mandela, right, heading around behind the gardens. We're heading over Duncan Street. You got to pull in for them to pass. And he turn right into Duncan Street. I don't know what's the emergency. Sirens blazing. A single Prado. My wife said the person was heading home. Don't know what is the emergency. But sirens blaring and they, cheating all the traffic. Cheating all the traffic. So the fellow lost control of the SUV he was in. He was overtaking some vehicle, lost control, hit a utility pole and ended up in a ditch. We got to slow down. The other pandemic, the carnage on our waterways and our roadways. Slow down and arrive alive. Slow down and arrive alive. Our thoughts, of course, go to his friends and family. Our thoughts and prayers go to them. Sabbath News taking exception. Many months ago, there was an incident at the Providence police station. Men with guns went in the police station after a fella. Men with guns. Could you imagine that? Went into the police station. Well, Sabbath News in today's editorial is reflecting on this incident. I can read the first 2 paragraphs for you, because I think it sums up everything. Right? Incident at Providence Police Station as the header for the editorial. And it's such an indictment on Robeson Ben. Well, let's start from the top. It's an indictment on Irfan Ali. Right? The man of what? What did Exton Clark say? He's a man of distinction and deeply spiritual. It's an indictment on Irfan Ali, right? Who's being led by the nose by Bar Jagdio. It's an indictment on Jagdio. And again, I say, it's beyond me how come crime don't feature highly at these press conferences. It's simply beyond me. Here's Sabbath News, reflecting on this incident. On December 11th last year, more than 4 months ago, there was a confrontation in the Providence police station between 2 civilians, during which a gunshot was fired and the cops fled for cover. The cops didn't do the firing, A gunshot was fired and cops fled for cover. Paragraph 1. Today, the Guyana Police Force is yet to pronounce publicly on the case or act in any of the multitude of issues at play. Given the frequency of serious crimes, you see, so it's not only our observation that crimes are frequent and serious crimes are frequent, according to Sabbath News, given the frequency of serious crime, it would be easy to consign this incident to the bottom of the to-do list. But that would be a grave misjudgment considering what is at stake. All right? And that is the cancer, that is this administration. The leprosy, the chigga, the betchus, that is this administration. You have their friends, family, and favorites fighting, physically fighting in a police station in Bartica. Nothing ever came of that. Nothing. Civilians go to police station and discharge around civilians. Not police. You have Sabbath News there. The police ran for cover. Nothing has ever come of that. Nothing. You understand, when we talk about friends, family, and favorite, and why when we said, we hope this high-ranking Indian official, gets the unvarnished truth, what we mean? Right? Some of you worrying about who bringing the truth. Oh, the woman cussing too much. You hear the truth yet? Or you living in a different society? Right? Sabbath News, doing the work, that a good journalist would do. Taking us back. You see, so many things happen. I'm sure y'all don't forget about that. Y'all already forget about that incident there. Right? A shot, a gun is discharged in the police station. In the station. Since last year, December. And we don't know what has become of that. We don't know. Right? But these guys gonna come and knock on your door and shake your hand, and talk about vote for we for good governance. We can run the city better. Nothing is preventing the administration from securing the city. Nothing. Nothing. Right? And with impunity, the bandits move around. So they want to have the majority of councillors in City Hall so they can make every street clean. You tell me all them clean up and producing cleaner streets in Georgetown consistently? All them thousands of people picking up garbage every month and so on? So you need to have, the majority of Georgia Council. You have 16 councillors on the council first. Right? That's where you need to have businessmen, those who don't pay the taxes to start paying the taxes, the fair share taxes. That is what you need. That's where you need to improve public servant salary and so on. You need the majority. Right? And we need for the NDC of that side in Providence and so. Right? Before this matter here is addressed. Or y'all need to have a minister of public security, a minister of home affairs in place for us. Y'all need to be in government for us to send the tide of crime. Sabbath News said it. The prevalence of serious crime. I'm bothering to go through the rest of it. We're still waiting. For this among other issues. Region 9, RU shot a young woman in her stomach. The Wonga duck. right? The vice chair in Region 6 knocked down pedestrian, killing the pedestrian, right? We hear back with them. Dalrymple bit the policeman over the river. Whatever happened to that? Nobody can tell me that. We see it with the own eye. You see? Whatever happened to that? The Henry boys kill a cotton tree. Whatever happened to that? Right? Ethan says, I will leave no stone unturned. No stone. I have absolutely no problem with the people who are 7 days Adventists. As a matter of fact, I have colleagues who have invited me to several church services for the 7 day Adventist, and I've gone as a Pentecostal. I am very open where religion is concerned, and I can be open because I'm already persuaded, in whom I believe. Me fishing around, looking for somebody, right? I have made the confession of my faith publicly, and I follow the Lord Jesus Christ in water baptism, and I haven't turned back. And I have not turned back. And I serve that same Jesus who would beaten people out in the marketplace. Some of y'all would say now, Jesus should be charged. Aggravated assault, what is the word? Something grievous bodily harm. Occasioning grievous bodily harm. I could see some of y'all would say, if Jesus would just convert to PPP, he would have life a little easier. The authorities will come after you like that. But he criticizing the authorities too much. He criticizing Herod too much, criticizing the Sanhedrin Council, the Pharisees and so on too much. If only he was a good PPP. If only he was a good Pharisee. If only he was good to Herod, he wouldn't have been crucified. But this infinite promise, this man of distinction, promise, no stone unturned for the Henry boys. This same man of distinction interfered with the Police Service Commission, and the Chief Justice just said his actions were illegal and unconstitutional. And he is a man of distinction. He called Paul Slow, asking Paul Slow, how come you're promoting my favorites, this man of distinction, this deeply spiritual man? How come? You see, when folks ask why the nurse's salary wasn't increasing, he asked them, this man of distinction, deeply spiritual, where were the nurses? These health professionals, when the sugar workers were being victimized, where were they? Did they show solidarity? This man of distinction, deeply spiritual. Give me a break. You see, I'm already persuaded in who I believe. Right? Whom I believe. But all you the vacillating, you're bit with many stripes. With many stripes. I don't need favor from none of them. So I can speak very clearly. I don't need favor from none of them. I can stay in the wilderness saying, make straight the crooked paths in this country. I can stay. And you can write all the letters you want to the newspaper. I can stay in the wilderness. But some of you, let me tell you this. I admire Cherry Jagan. Right? I admire Cherry Jagan. That's why when I get the opportunity, don't get tired up to read anything about his life. I read it. I admire him as a political figure. Right? I could go through politics, right, and take out the positives and hold tenaciously to them. Cherry Jagan, if he's the father of the nation to you, God bless you. Right? spent 28 years in opposition. He ran out one day and say, all right, things are tight. Let me see let me switch sides. That's one of the things I take out from his life. 28 years in opposition. 28. Some of y'all got 28 days in y'all. Some of y'all got 28 months in y'all. 28 weeks. You got 28 months in y'all. They go and get a little tough. You ready for bust your natty. And tie up with these Jacobats, these Philistines, these Sadducees and Pharisees, and these Hittites. Them, these men of distinction, these spiritual people. Well, the Pharisees and the Sadducees, they're the spiritual too. And God will like them. They're deeply spiritual. Who are the most spiritual than the Pharisees? Right? It's not them that asked Jesus, why are you healing people on the Sabbath? The same deeply spiritual people. Yes, deeply spiritual people kill Christ. Right? I remember Pilate say, wash me hand. Or this matters. Pilate or Herod? I wash my hand of it. Yes, deeply spiritual people kill Jesus. I am already, me looking for friends, you know. Me looking for friends. But some of y'all hunting a little duty free. Hunting a little duty free. Right? Hunting some exemption to something. And so y'all got to dance between the raindrops. Right? I am not looking for friends. I'm not looking for likes and shares. Right? I am here saying, make straight the crooked ways. And this government got a lot of crooked ways. A lot of crooked ways. And you telling me, who's a man of distinction? Right? We must see run out of people of distinction. The day finale, who can produce how we get a first degree from Eiffel University? Become a man of distinction. We must see run out. But that being said, folks, that being said, right, that you don't understand how it works. When you start writing letters against me, when you start criticizing me public, I am activated. I'm activated. I say, Lord, this is the time to which I was born. This is the purpose to which you have called me. Right? This is the calling to which you have called me. And I'm ready to keep answering that call. This is the calling. And I could have gone and be a deeply religious man, like some of these people who profess to be deeply. I could have gone that way, but this is the calling to which he has called me. And I can continue to talk. Make straight the crooked paths of this world. Right? Or you put your own boy on the EITI. You know, Gavi suspended. These honorable men of distinction and deeply spiritual. You see, a whole host of the commissions in this country to safeguard Guyanese people's rights, you know, provide checks and balances, have not been activated by this government. These deeply spiritual people, these men of distinction. Right? Why? Why? Because it allows them free rein with the corrupt activities. Right? These deeply spiritual people, I want y'all come for me. Right? Because if you all don't know, I believe this is the time to which God Almighty has brought me in this country. So I love it. Come for me. Don't send out your surrogates writing stupid letters. Right? I hate Seventh-day Adventists. I want the people of God, the sons of God, to rise. Because if they rise in this country, they'll never accept the foolishness we accepted. Right? Jesus wasn't no pian person. He was radical and spoke clearly. He didn't hug up with the powers of the day. He spoke truth to power. Right? So if you don't like it, fire upon you too. You're going to hell. That being said, folks, that's our program. Stambook News hitting at the crime in this country. When these honorable men and men of distinction will tackle crime, people who are righteous can protect the citizenship. People who are holy will come to defense of the poor and the needy. Right? They don't do things to keep them downtrodden. They don't do things to keep them suppressed. Right? You all pray for me. I still walking out my salvation with fear and trembling. So you all pray for me. Right? You all pray for me. That being said, folks, that being said, we can see you guys back in the podcast. Make sure before you go, you share the live, you smash that emoji button for us. It's going to help us in a big way for others to receive credible and valid information. Yep, it's going to help bigly on that front, folks. It's going to help bigly on that front. But that being said, folks, I want you to know that if you need a decent commissioner votes affidavit and a justice of the peace, we want to recommend these folks who have been tried, tested, and proven. The Alistair Collins firm, they right down there, the Callion Mall on Lamaha Street between Camp and Waterloo Street. 649-6410, 649-6410, 685-6448, 685-6448. They're down there at the Callion Mall on Lamaha Street between Camp and Waterloo Streets. That being said, folks, I want to encourage you to partner with us as well so we can continue doing our programs, continue moving forward, bringing you guys valid and credible information. Do that for us. We're available via Cash App and Zelle and PayPal, MMG, MoneyGram, and Western Union. And everything that you donate to our programs goes towards this very purpose. Right? Going out there, pursuing the truth wherever it leads, and bringing you guys credible, and valid information. That being said, we want to thank you guys for joining us today. We're going to see you guys back on the podcast. All things being equal, looking forward to seeing you guys at that. It's nomination day, so we're going to try to cover those events, some of those events as well. That being said, stay safe, and we're going to see you guys back later. That being said, good folks, take care now. Take care. Good to see you, folks. Good to see each and every one of you. I see Sharon is here, and Yvonne, and Cecile, and Candy in the JIT. Good to see you as well, Candy Deline. Yvonne is here, and Jolly, and Beryl Crawford. Clifton Smith is here as well. Good to see each and every one of you. That being said, folks, that's me time, and that's our program. Stay safe, respect.